are listening to episode number 16 of the Happy Choir podcast. Hola people, it's Carlos, host and creator of the Happy Choir podcast. In today's episode, I bring two wonderful guests whom I had the chance to interview thanks to Anna Dimmer, our guest for episode 14. Check it out if you haven't. Neena Taylor and Janwin Overstreet Good are the co-founder of a new exciting women chorus in Houston. I might have not shared this with you yet, but writing for women chorus is one of my favorite things to do as a composer. And in this interview, I got to learn more about the process of creating from zero a new women ensemble and how Neena and Janwin's experience as choral educators led them to work together to bring this dream to life. They share with us how they did it, why, what was challenging and how they overcame it, as well as how they keep learning and growing and having fun creating this new community. Thank you so much for being here and let's enjoy this new episode. And if you are like me, you have already started your document on how to create your own women chorus. Yay for Women Chorus and Casulana Women Chorus of Houston. Now let's enjoy this episode. And in today's episode, I'm excited to have with us Neena Taylor and Janwin Overstreet Good from Houston. They are the co-founders of Casulana Women Chorus, and I'm excited to have them here. Hello.
Hello.
So this is the first time that I'm doing a two-guest interview, so it will be interesting to learn the experience of this. So the first thing, well, I want to thank you for being here and to express the excitement for this new chorus because I feel it goes so well with Houston vibrant music scene.
Absolutely. Yes.
I also love the name. I was doing a research on the name and it is very empowering, as you say in the website.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
It is. Yes.
Neena and I did a lot of thinking about what to call this group. We wanted something more than just Women's Choir of Houston, or there are a lot of different names that different choirs use around the country. So we thought, let's find some female in history that we could name the choir for. So Madalena Casulana was a composer, published her first book of madrigals in 1568, dedicated or devoted to the works of a woman. And her aim, as she states in the dedication, is to show to the world the foolish error of men who so greatly believe themselves to be the masters of high intellectual gifts, that these gifts cannot, it seems to them, be equally common among women. So she was a feminist way back in the 16th century, and we just kind of love her attitude.
Yes.
It's amazing. And it goes so well with then I was in your website and I love this first thing that we are welcomed with. Casulana celebrates the female voice and its power to inspire. I mean, that's, and as we're going to learn in this episode, is that the female chorus is one of my favorites. It's so exciting for me as a composer to write for women chorus, and we're here.
Wonderful.
Yeah, we're here to learn about how you go to form this group and how your experience helped you take this challenge. But the first thing that I would love to know is, how did you come to chorus? What was your first step? And we can start with Neena. What's your story with choral music?
I started in music really in elementary school, and my music teacher gave me enough information to teach myself piano. And from there, I just was in choir and was encouraged and took piano lessons and just went right through college and taught voice lessons and piano lessons. To be honest with you, I didn't think I could do anything but music because I'm so passionate about it. And it's like I always tell my kids at school and they laugh, music is my drug. It totally is. And you stand in front of a bunch of people who have their heart and soul in it too, and you can't help but feel passionate and can't help but feel your heart soar. That's what it's about for me.
That is so true. I mean, it's such an exchange of passion from conductor to singer to audience.
It is.
Yeah. And Janwin?
Well, I did music choir and band all through school, and originally thought I was going to be a band director. But they have to march, and it's hot. And honestly, singing choir really speaks, as Neena said, to the heart. And I think music is one of the few things that requires both a lot of intelligence and a lot of passion, so it combines the brain and the heart in one art form.
As you grew up in the choral arts, then did you feel this was the path that you wanted to take? Did you combine it with performing and teaching? What was going through your mind as you developed your career in the choral arts?
I really wanted to inspire the singers to be as passionate about music as I am, to be able to express themselves in that art form. And also, I think choir, especially in the musical arts, becomes a home base for these kids in school. It's a place where they feel safe, where they feel welcome, where they feel at home, and that it's a family. So that really became a driving force as I taught through the years.
I totally agree. Choir is just it's a discipline. It teaches kids discipline and how to have a heart and how to express themselves, maybe in other ways that they don't get to express themselves, because sometimes, especially everyone, boys and girls, have a difficulty sometimes in expressing themselves, but through the poetry of music, because it is often poetry, you can express a lot of feelings and emotions through that.
And I totally agree with this, because sometimes choir can feel like therapy. Choir is the place that
Absolutely.
you go and either you release the feelings that you have, or that you create new connections with the people, the music, the poetry, the audience. It's an incredible thing to grow up in, because then you meet the people that you feel connected to, but also you start to realize this is a whole world. Choir can be an entire place that I can grow as a human. And something also incredible that I found in these interviews that I've been doing is that education and professors had such a great role in the formation of the composers, the singers, the conductors that we see today out there, and the teachers as well. And well, first of all, thank you so much for all that you've done for these kids, because hearing you talk about it, it's exactly that, to offer the safe space where they can not only learn about art, because so many people can think, oh yeah, this is a course and this is where you come and make music and then you go ahead and go to your next period. But what I hear from your experience is that you offer a space for them through music to learn so many other skills. What were the challenges that you found during this time?
Well, for both of us, I think towards the end of our careers, the increasing requirement to use technology in the classroom was a challenge. We were both successful high school choir directors, and then suddenly they want us to start doing things that would not necessarily enhance our program. So that to us was challenging. There are always the challenges of competing with other elective programs in the schools, the increasing emphasis on career and technology education, the CTE courses that they really want the kids to take. They throw a lot of money at the schools to encourage students to take those courses, to the detriment of the fine arts programs. And that is always a challenge, to try to show people how important music education is for these kids.
Yeah. And I have to say, in Texas, we're incredibly lucky, although we do have those challenges. If you were to go to many other states, their programs are not supported as much as ours are. And that maybe because of all those challenges in their state have become so great, maybe that's why their programs have not really survived as well as ours. But we have to fight all the time to keep kids in choir. and to keep kids in band. I don't care what they're in as long as they're in something, because when you have kids that are really busy and involved, they're actually probably your best kids in the school. And they are your best kids in the
They
school.
are, yeah.
They work real hard, and we make sure, no pass, no play. If they want to really be involved, they have to buckle down and study. So yes, we're glad they have all those requirements, but we need to have some flexibility from time to time.
Hey people, I want to take a quick second to tell you how your support makes a difference. When you support me on patreon.com, you are not only giving $3 a month, but you are giving my brand a vote of confidence. This translates to helping several other artists to connect through choral music. Think about it as a cup of coffee that you invite me once a month, only that it's way more impactful and personal. Plus, you get to be part of the behind the scenes of my career as a composer, with the many perks that I shared in there. Even if you're not able to give right now, your support listening to this podcast is great, even more if you leave a review in iTunes. Patreon.com/composercordero is the link that you want to visit or share with others. Hope to see you there. Nowadays, we are so busy, and this is also true for the kids, right? So they have all of these options that it can be easy to, I want to do everything. I want to have time to learn about everything, but it's also challenging, and it's very, very busy time with all the technology, all of the people that we want to hang out with and meet and create relationships with. So I can understand how overwhelming it can be for them to have to choose, do another thing, do a study, because you don't just sign up for choir. You have to study, you have to develop skills, and you're expected to meet certain skills and criteria to pass the class, right?
Correct. Yes.
What was your response to this? What were the ways that you could get the kids into choir and let the school know that the arts are also important?
Well, you have to be really good friends with your counselor, and it's good if your counselor's child is also in the fine arts, which
Right, that
happens
helps.
sometimes. Yes, but you also have to learn how to juggle the schedules. You have to go in and look at the schedules and see, because kids are told things, particularly in middle school. Oh, you can't do that. Oh, yes, you can. But we need to know as teachers how to make that work, and we know how to make that work, and we've shown those kids over and over. Yes, you can do this, and you can make it work. Right, Janwin?
Right. You can make it work. I always made mock schedules for the kids to give them in the middle school and junior high ages, to say, here's how you do choir for 4 years. If you want to do this and choir, here's a sample schedule for you. If you want to do this other subject in choir, here's one for you. You also have to spend a lot of time recruiting. I mean, we would go perform at the elementary schools, especially during the holiday season, just to show them how fun it is to be in a choir. You get to sing and dance and, put on some costumes and do some choreography. And we would do the same with the middle schools. And then as teachers, I'm sure Neena did this too, we would go visit our feeder programs, the middle schools and junior highs, where the kids came to us and work with them and let them see how much fun they could have with us in high school.
What it's also amazing to hear is that it's not so different from having then a community choir or having a choir outside school, right?
Okay.
Right.
The director then becomes the guide to the people that they are leading, to the people that they are not only teaching and being the conductor of the ensemble, but also so many times, at least for me, and I've heard also for a lot of people, conductors have been very helpful to help them figure out what's going on in life, and how can they make then the schedule to make room for art in their life.
Correct. Right.
The second thought that I just had a few seconds ago was that it's not about the choir then, but it's also about, in this case, the kids, creating the safe space for them to express and exposing them to art, to new music, to music that they might not hear every day. And I loved hearing how you care about the people and not just come to my choir because it is a choir, but it's also about the community that you create with this, which will at the end impact of the whole on the whole school because we create so much good skills of working together.
Right, right.
And we're going on forward to include these high school kids by including some of them in one of our pieces on our program. And so one of the ones they've done for the All-State program, we're asking some of the high school girls that have auditioned on a French piece called Salut Printemps. And so we're showing them, and it's not just to say, okay, come to our choir, but it's also to say, when you get out of high school, there is a place for you, not just in high school and elementary and middle school. So that's one of the reasons we're doing that, is to keep empowering them through their full life and not just high school. So just thought I'd throw that in.
Yeah, I love that idea.
Right, right.
Because then it connects to this is not something that you do in high school. This is something that you can do in life.
Yes.
Right, right.
I've heard so many people to say, oh yeah, I used to sing in high school in a chorus and then they never sung again.
That's right.
But there are so many choruses out there waiting for people to join and people to share it with.
That's right.
So I love that idea of connecting.
Right. Mm-hmm. So many opportunities.
Yes.
And sometimes people just have to know that they're available.
I have this random question because this is something that always comes up no matter in which choir one is, and I was wondering your take on this. It's just a random question. They say that the most difficult thing to teach in chorus is how you line up to go to stage. Do you agree with this?
I'm pretty good at logistics, so I never really found that. Well, I'm lying if I say I never found it difficult, because there are always times when you're getting your kids off the stage to get to their seats and you're like, no, go back, start over. Did it wrong. So it's a little bit of a trick. It's a little bit of a trick.
And it's so funny because I've heard so many people say, no matter how difficult the music you're doing is, the most difficult thing will be just going on stage and off stage, no matter the age of the people.
Right. Well, yes, that's true too.
That's amazing. Okay, so thank you so much for this beginning of your story with chorus, and how do you get now to this point of creating your own chorus? Is this something that was new for you? Have you done before a chorus outside high school?
Oh no, this all came about several years ago. Neena and I were both working with the All-State Women's Choir, and we looked at each other backstage during one rehearsal and said, Houston doesn't really have a women's choir like this. We should start one. So 15 years later, here we are. So we're both retired now, and this seemed like the perfect opportunity to get this going. We did a lot of advertising on through Facebook, mostly through the Choir Directors of Texas Facebook page, through our own personal pages, and through the Houston Symphony Chorus Facebook page to announce auditions. And then we had people show up, which was great.
Yeah.
And that's all that you need, right? To have people that it's willing to learn and to give time to share this space.
Yes, it is. We have 23 singers in the choir for this first concert, which we're very excited about. And we think it's going to be pretty fabulous.
Yeah. We had a lot of people who really wanted to audition, but they just couldn't fit into their schedules. But we're hoping to maybe consider making the choir bigger. Not that we want it too big, but it's nice to know that there's a lot of interest in it right now, and I feel like we've been very blessed. And there have been a lot of really amazing things that have happened for us that have set us up to be very successful. So it's been a humbling experience in many ways.
It's been a real learning experience too, because there's a whole lot that I had no idea we would need to do until we got started in this process and had some people with nonprofit community chorus experience come on board to help us with these things. And they are really saving us in many regards on this. Neena and I are used to having a school budget to work with and a fine arts director to work with. And so now we are all of it. And it's been an adventure so far. A good adventure, but a real learning curve on all of this.
Yes. We're used to having money handed to us, told us to go spend it, and now we have to go find it. And numerous other things.
Right.
Really taken care of it for us. Trinity Lutheran has been an amazing church facility, and they've offered the church for us. And like I said, we've just been blessed in many ways that shows this is the time for this.
And what's also fantastic about the choral world is that we can find so many friends who are there just willing to help us and give us their experience and say, hey, why don't you do this like this? I had success with that like that. I know this person, connect with these people.
It's exactly right.
Exactly. And I think you find that true, especially in choir, in the choir world. People are so willing to share their experience, their knowledge, and don't expect payback, just for the love of the art.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and at least at the beginning, it's the building process. So, it's a time where you have to put on the work and keep growing the organization until you are in a place where you have the payback of the making the art, of the communicating to the audience, making new connections. It's amazing. And it sounds a very also exciting process with all of the learning, with all of the creating the ensemble from zero, right?
Yes.
What would you say is the most challenging part that you've come so far?
We picked a program for this first concert before we had singers. So we picked music hoping that it was neither too hard nor too easy. And I think we're finding that we were pretty spot on with most of it. So some of it is going to be a little more challenging than we expected. And that's okay. These women are very, very capable. Many of them are choir directors themselves. So they've got that background coming in. And the ones who are not professional musicians in that regard are really fine sight readers, strong singers, and are working diligently to learn the music for us.
Even the organization of the rehearsals is different for us when we have 11 pieces of music and 3 hours a week. That in itself has been a bit of a learning curve as well. Wouldn't you agree?
Yes. And quite honestly, having two of us is a learning curve, because we have to learn how to share the time, share the space, share the decision making. So even though we've worked with assistants and associate directors in the past, this is different because we're on equal footing, I guess. Wouldn't you say, Neena?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
We're very, I think we get along very well.
Yes.
And I'm not a fighter, so I'm always like, okay, let's just fix this. And we agree on a lot of issues about how we want them to sound. That's worked very well for us. But we're at first it was like, oh yeah, I forgot to ask Janwin. Oh yes, we just have to. We're in constant contact every single day, and that's fine, and that's great, But it's working out very well.
Wonderful. From the time that you decided, okay, let's go, let's do this, till this first concert, how long has it been? Has it been, do you feel, a good amount of time? Has it been too fast, too slow?
It all has happened really fast. I mean, last July was probably when we pulled the trigger on this and said, okay, here we go. We're going to do this, and let's do a concert in the spring. And so we met and picked out the program, and then had had these people come on board to help us with all the logistics and the tax exempt status and all that stuff that we don't know what we're doing.
It wouldn't have happened without them.
Wouldn't have happened without them. I think we're discovering that we have 6 rehearsals set for this first series, and I think probably next concert series we'll do 8 rehearsals. Just to give us a little more wiggle room and a bigger comfort zone for that. So that, I think, is the biggest thing we're taking away from this first series.
Yeah, we really needed a little bit more time, but I think it will be great. And I know that these women will rise to the occasion and be and make wonderful music.
Right. The other challenge is just finding the rehearsal time. We went with Sunday afternoons so it doesn't conflict with school activities. It does conflict with personal life activities, though, for some of the people. And then just finding a concert date that works with everything else that's going on in the choir world, especially when we have so many teachers that have their own high school programs or middle school programs, and they've got concert and sight reading contests they're contending with and their own spring concerts. So that has been the challenge, just working around the scheduling.
Yes, and we're looking at having a Christmas concert a month before Christmas next year.
Right, so probably in November.
Yes, so that we won't conflict, but still have enough rehearsal time. So
I love this idea and how you decided to step into action and then figure things out in the way, because then you don't feel stuck. You are not, oh, we have to do it, or but we don't know this, but you're making it work and it's working wonderfully. So I'm very excited about this ensemble. It's amazing to see that you figure out how to work together, how to share this leadership, because it can be difficult for people who are used to leading their own program to then share.
Yeah, we're both pretty much take charge people. Yeah, right. So this has been good. I think I don't know that I would have wanted to try to do this alone.
Exactly.
I think it would have been overwhelming. Yeah. To try to tackle this whole process as a single person.
Do you feel that your combined experience then meets to help you make this ensemble a better experience, both for the singers and you and the community?
I think so. I think that way because of the two of us, we don't forget much as far as the music goes. We, you don't forget this. We both can talk and make sure that everything is covered. We have a board of directors that covers all the paperwork stuff. So we primarily can look at the music, and the two of us don't forget much. And so that really helps to have both of us working on it.
Yes, it does.
Something also amazing that I find is that a lot of groups that I know, they decided to create a new group. They put together the first concert and then they keep working, and then we have to make a non-profit, or we have to register or something. And you started this already, right?
Oh yes, and we would not have if we had not had these two gentlemen approach us and say, we want to help you, and they're angels. I mean, they are our angels.
They are amazing. You just can't even imagine how blessed we are to have them.
They set up the website. Yes. They've applied for nonprofit status. They're opening a bank account. We already have a mailing address. I mean, they're doing all the things that we had no idea needed to be done. I mean, we really were kind of clueless about that whole aspect of it. Yes. So
you can buy tickets online too because of
them, right?
Yes, because of them. They're amazing, and
that's just half battle won, because now having all of this paperwork and all of this part, solved, and somebody who's helping you with that, then you can focus on the chorus. Then you can use your energy to make this the experience that you want it to be. So that's
Exactly.
Just want to quickly remind you that all of the links that are mentioned in this episode will be in the show notes in thehappychoir.com/podcast, or find it in the description of this episode. Also, once you are there in the website, you can subscribe to the newsletter. This will come with a $20 discount for your next choral recording, a free guide that I've created just for you on the things that I've discovered in my career on how to be a happy composer, conductor, or singer. You will also receive a weekly email with podcast episodes, blog posts, and music. I hope to see you there. Now, let's get back to this episode. Did you have to ask for this help, or do you feel that it came on your way by itself?
I had put a post on the Houston Symphony Chorus Facebook page. I sing with the chorus, and then so do these two gentlemen. And one of them reached out to me and said, I would like to talk to you about your choir. And I thought, okay, what does he want to talk to me about? And then we had a meeting, and they made this offer to, they have served on nonprofit community chorus boards in the past, and we're currently not affiliated with anyone. They love women's choirs. They love community choruses. They love to do all of this stuff, and they have a combined 40 years experience with nonprofit groups. And they said, let us help. And we said, okay. and I think we both kind of cried with joy when they made this offer, because it was unexpected, and quite a benefit to us. I don't know. We would not be anywhere near this point with all of that, and it's probably something we wouldn't have thought about until this next summer. So we're probably a year ahead of where we would be without them.
Well, we're a couple of years ahead of a few groups I know. I mean, there is a group in Texas that called Tala that is oftentimes helps our arts organizations, but they are inundated and overworked. And I've not been able to get a hold of them. And then these Rex and David came and helped us, and it was just unbelievably wonderful. I mean,
yes,
we just
amazing.
can't get enough. They really are angels for us.
And it shows that it's not always there is not always just one way, but there is also people around us who can give us a hand, and even if it's just a comment or a word of you can do this,
right.
But also when it comes to this amount of help of the paperwork, which is we all know we all have a fair amount of paperwork to go through life, and we know how difficult it is to take the energy to even do it. So
right. Well, and like we said, this is stuff that we would have figured out at some point, but we are so far ahead of the game. So they send us 4 and 5 page documents all the time. Here's our next step, and we just read through it and say, "Wow, we had no idea."
I know, really,
yeah, it's amazing. It's amazing.
Yes.
And now for the rehearsal time and the time with the singers. Let's talk first the inner parts with the choir. What is the thing that you wish the most for singers to encounter when they go to your rehearsals, to your choir?
Well, I do believe we want them to have an exceptional choral experience. And sometimes that will happen in the rehearsal. You will begin to have those moments of sheer joy because everything just works. But we also have a time of community and social time because, like we've said, they need and we need to sing with people we like. And I know it sounds stupid, but if you don't, I've had a choir that didn't like each other, and no matter what I did, they didn't like it was not fun. And these women have already created a community, and they do like each other and are growing to loving each other. And I feel like Well, for instance, we had an audition for a little solo part yesterday, and so we went around the circle and everybody auditioned, and I chose a couple of singers, and they all got excited because they heard that was exactly what was supposed to happen. Those were the two women that were supposed to sing. That just made my heart sing because it was awesome. It wasn't about me. It was about they are the best ones to sing. It was really cool. It was really cool.
Heartwarming.
Yeah.
Yes, heartwarming. Yes.
Yes, very.
And I think what we want them to also to get out of this choir is just the joy of singing in a treble ensemble with all women. It's different music than most of them have the opportunity to sing. Most of the groups for adults, once you get out of high school, are for mixed choirs. So it's always SATB music, and there's some really wonderful music for women written that you often don't get the chance to do. So we're hoping to provide them with the opportunities to sing music they might not have had the chance to participate in, and expose them to some new literature, new composers. Maybe someone named Carlos will compose something for us that we can.
I would love to.
I was just thinking that.
It would be my pleasure to write something for you. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, our first concert is March 1st at 2:30 at Trinity Lutheran downtown. We would love for you and your audience members to join us for that event.
And it's so beautiful to hear the experience that then these people get to have in this course, because for a lot of people I know that they are looking for a place to belong and for a place to learn with other people.
Exactly.
Not just by themselves. And chorus choir can be sometimes this place where even if we just move to a new place, or if we are trying to meet new people, it can be the place that you feel welcome to and that you can share with others in this new experience that they're having. And it must be very, very exciting for them to be part of the first concert.
Exactly.
Well, I hope so. Right. We hope this is a big deal, and I think our goal is to someday win a Grammy, just like the Houston Chamber Choir just did. We would like to be that kind of ensemble.
Yes, we would very much so like to be. We're really working for that.
And I love the idea of the looking ahead too, because it's not just, okay, we're putting together a concert, that's right, and it's March 1st, people, so go to the concert. But let's just keep telling the date. It's not just this concert, but also looking ahead of the possibilities that you can accomplish. Looking back to your website, I have it right here. It also says if I continue reading, to the first thing that we're welcomed with is to inspire and culturally enrich the life of the audience and participants. And this is not only, something that happens in the concert and stays in the concert, but it goes out of the performance into the life of the people. I've seen so many times that people, not only the audience, but also the singers, the conductors, they go out and speak about this concert and what were the things that this music made them think about, or even talking to the singers afterwards, the connection that they create. So it also says in your website that you want to do this through the artistic and educational programs and through the high quality choral music. And that's what I feel a choir is. It's not just, let's call it in a cold way, a machine that does music. It is not that, right? Do you feel that this will be an ensemble that perform once a year, or do you already envision some kind of schedule for a few concerts a season? How do you feel this will evolve in the future?
Right now, we're looking at one concert next fall or early winter, and then another one in the spring. I don't think we've gotten beyond that right now, doing a couple a year. That
the schedule, like she's scheduling, is so hard.
Even for an organization that it's already, that has already 10 years, its schedule is still one of also the hardest thing to do besides getting off and on stage.
Right, right.
Yeah.
We hope to become a group that will be invited to perform other places. We will do a small, as a payback to Trinity, we will do some singing for them at their services, or provide some singers to help out their choir program. But we'd also like to see if we can sing for corporate events, or, we'll sing for money for anybody.
Yeah, finding the resources to then be able to
Right,
keep the organization
right.
alive. Yeah.
right.
Yes.
So, we're real. I mean, we're still, from that aspect, the programming and the series and seasons. I think we're still in discussing, figuring out stage with that.
Yeah.
But we do have two thoughts. I mean, a fall thought and a spring thought for next year.
Yeah.
So
That's exciting.
Exactly.
yeah.
Is this adventure something that you would recommend people to do, or something that you will say definitely find somebody to do it with? What are your thoughts for the people out there thinking of creating their own women chorus?
Talk to lots of people.
Yes,
Call us. We're happy to talk to anybody.
we will.
It's pretty amazing. It's a pretty fabulous thing, but you've got to have time to devote to all of this, and you've got to be willing to put in the work.
I have to admit, it's more than just the music. There is a lot more to do than just the music. Setting up everything that we've set up and had set up takes a lot more effort than I think either one of us actually envisioned. So,
Right.
Totally worth it. It's worth it, but we just had no.
Yeah. Again, the learning curve is pretty steep here, because we had to create an audition sign up and an information sign up for all the singers, stuff that you don't deal with when you're teaching in the public school system, so we thought, oh yeah, we can do this choir thing, but oh no, it's a different animal. So
Yes. And we've learned how to Zoom and how to Skype and how to do all kinds of things we got out of teaching for.
Right. Yeah, the technology is there,
But it's great. It works. Keeps us young, right?
Right. Exactly.
Well, and as you said, also give back. Now you're connecting the girls that you used to teach with the chorus, so then it gives back to that you used to do, but also connects with this new thing.
Yes.
And
Right.
it's just beautiful to see the journey from your experience now to your next stage of adventuring into creating this new chorus. So it's amazing and inspiring to for people out there to consider to create also their own choruses.
We hope they do. It's fun. It's fun. It's work, but it's fun.
Yeah. Well, we wouldn't do it if it wasn't worth it,
Right.
Because it is.
Right.
So, this is a love language to start one of these choirs, and women's choirs. I love all choirs, but women's choirs just have a special timbre that you can't get anywhere else. So,
correct.
For the final part of this interview, I have a question that I do to all my guests, and I would like to ask you about singers. So, and let's talk specific about women singers. So, what's one thing that you wish women choral singer will know or do?
That's a hard question.
Well, we always need to practice, and we always need to get better. And I guess that's one of the reasons why these women are in this group, is because they do want to practice, they do want to continue singing, and they do want to continue learning. And so I guess that's really the thing. They need to want to continue to learn, to get better, to express it all in different ways. And maybe some of it is just expressing from the heart as well.
I agree with Neena. I think Gosh, this is a hard question, Carlos.
I know it is.
Sorry.
I think they need to trust themselves, but I think they also need to trust the directors. This is just kind of a general statement, and that if we suggest a different way to do something, they should try it because they might like it.
Yes.
And these women that we're working with, a lot of them are very experienced, but this is an adult women's choir is different from most of them, and there are things that they may need to do that they're not used to or expecting to be asked to do. So I think it's a trust issue there too on that.
That's wonderful, to be open and to trust that, you're not making decisions just because of a random reason, but you actually want to either try something or teach something or just to find new ways to, express. So I really like the idea of trusting each other and knowing that you'll have to be open to keep learning,
Right.
to keep practicing. This has been such a wonderful time to learn from the experience that you've had in this new adventure, and it's inspiring for me to, get out there and keep telling people, take the risk, go ahead and create your chorus and talk to people. Even if you are not creating your chorus, right now, start a conversation, start telling people, I have this idea, and do you know anything about it? Or search for the people who know the things because they are willing to help you.
Absolutely. And 15 years later, maybe they have it for you too. So.
Wonderful. So this is a part that, and as we mentioned before, you have a concert coming up, but I would love for you to tell us again all the information so we don't miss it.
It's March 1st at 2:30 in the afternoon at Trinity Lutheran downtown. There's parking in the church parking lot, so you don't have to pay for parking. And we would love to see you there. The tickets are $20 a piece, and you can find a ticket online at casulana.org, and you will get that information too. I think you will really enjoy it. It's going to be a combination of not just music, but we're going to intersperse some poems to pull it all together as well. And I think it will be a very enjoyable concert of a lot of different types of music. It's not heavy music, all of it. It's varied, and I think you will enjoy it. So
this concert is called The Winds of Spring. So all of the music has a spring theme, basically.
How wonderful. And I love the concerts that include also poetry, because it shows you that art can live together, and that you've created this journey for us. It's not just a bunch of pieces put together, but as you said, you've also included more art to make it even a different experience for the audience. So thank you so much for that. Is there a way that we can find you online? I know that you have a Facebook page for Casulana.
Yes.
And we're working on Twitter and Instagram right now. Yes. As soon as those are up and running, we'll connect that to Facebook and also post it on the website.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much, Janwin and Neena, for inspiring us and to share with us so openly about your new chorus and this upcoming concert, your first concert. How exciting.
Thank you, Carlos.
Thank you, Carlos, so much. We appreciate it.
Remember that the Happy Choir podcast is here to help you connect with others through choral music, through your voice. And I am always open to know, how can I help you reach that goal? How can I help you connect with others? See you in the next episode of the Happy Choir podcast. Ciao, people. Woohoo! You've been listening to the Happy Choir podcast. For more information and show notes, visit thehappychoir.com.